This video consists of three main parts. Part 1 is a kind of orientation. I'm going to go over what you need to know so you can evaluate this opportunity as a whole. You'll learn who we are, what we do, who we work for, why we need your help, how much money you can make, how much time it will take, and how you will get paid. Part 2 is largely training. We will go over specific details of the job. It consists mostly of how you will perform the job and exactly what we are looking for step by step. If you plan to take advantage of this opportunity, you should pay very close attention to this part. While we do provide ongoing support and periodic trainings, we will depend on you to know everything you're learning in this section and perform the job duties at a very high level starting on day 1. Part 3 is what you'll need to complete to become a certified property support specialist. The certification process consists of 2 parts, a multiple choice test and a trial assignment. We will also go over all the forms needed to officially complete registration so you can begin accepting jobs. Okay, let's begin part 1, orientation. What this opportunity is all about, the opportunity as a whole, the work, the money and competition, the time, who we are, what we do, and who we work for. Let's get started. The opportunity, you're hired, almost. Actually, this is not the same kind of job like you might have seen other places like you might have had. It's not a W-2 style of income. This is a 1099 style of opportunity where you're actually self-employed. You're a business owner. And because of this, it's completely equal opportunity. We don't care where you come from, what you look like, how old you are. We give everybody an opportunity as long as you meet the qualification standards and you meet our prerequisites, which one of them is having a real estate license. This opportunity is completely voluntary. It's on call. You work when you want. You don't work when you want. And you can go on vacation whenever you want. You don't have to tell anybody. If you do commit to a job, you absolutely have to get that done. But you'll know ahead of time what the pay is, exactly what's involved in the job, and you should be able to project very accurately whether or not we can count on you to complete that one job. But this is not something that I want anybody to think they can support themselves entirely on. This is something where you would probably be able to take care of a bill or two a month. And so the income is very nice if you take advantage of the opportunity and do well, but there's no commitment at all in between jobs that you accept. And so that's kind of the overview. If you don't have a real estate license, then you might want to know a little bit about what it takes to get a license. The total expense from a recent case study of someone in our office taking the courses like I recommend and going down the path that we prescribe, the expense was $833.70. That includes everything, fingerprints, all the courses from beginning to end, all the licensing fees and application fees and everything. It took her 5 weeks to complete it, and you can actually see a detailed breakdown of exactly what happened, the dates that it happened, how long everything took, and the costs involved at this website address here at the bottom. If you choose to accept an assignment, some of the work involved that you'll be doing is installing lock boxes, installing yard signs in the front of the yard, and taking photos of the exterior and interior of the houses. Okay, pay close attention. I'm about to tell you how you win the assignments. This is how you control your income. Once you're approved, you'll be added to our email list. The only emails we send out are emails offering you assignments. When you receive an email from us, the way you win the assignment is by being the first person to respond to the email. If you don't have a phone that you can receive email on, you probably won't be very successful at all. For a greater advantage, we advise that you program your phone so that an alert chimes whenever you receive an email from us. We also have a scorecard system where your quality of work, timeliness, experience, and dependability is rewarded. The higher your score, the more opportunities you'll have. And we'll go over the scorecard system later. I think it's important to be very transparent about exactly what kind of opportunity we're offering and what you have the chance to be a part of. So I want to give you an idea of how many jobs we had last year. In all of 2012, we had 845 jobs. Here you can see a breakdown of how many we had every single month. Now this does not take into account how much per job we were paying or how many people were competing for those jobs. We're going to get to that later, but this is the amount of work that we had. Here we take a little deeper look at the money we paid out for property support specialist jobs. In all of 2012, we paid out $40,535. Our price per job ranged anywhere from $25 to $70 a job, and the average price per job was $48.11. Then you see we have a breakdown per month of exactly how much we paid out per job. We'd like to think as we continue moving forward, these numbers will just continue to get stronger. However, there are no guarantees. We have 2 pay periods per month. We require that you submit an invoice for each pay period to get paid. The invoice can be very simple. It just needs to state some basic info such as the dates that you completed the assignments and how much you're owed. We ask for invoices as a measure of redundancy to ensure you are paid exactly what you are owed and everything is error-free. If there is ever a discrepancy about what you're owed, this allows us to resolve it in enough time so that you're still paid what you're owed by your payday. So for the first pay period, if you complete an assignment from the 1st to the 15th, your invoice will be due no later than the 16th, and you'll get paid on the 22nd. The next period is from the 16th to the end of the month. Your invoice is due no later than the 1st, and you'll be paid for this time period on the 7th. We have paid every contractor every dollar they're owed on time 100% of the time. The only exception was when we converted to our direct deposit system. The company we contracted with instituted a 5-day delay because we were a new company. We were able to let everybody know in advance so they could prepare accordingly. You can expect to get paid on time 100% of the time through direct deposit. The competition. If you're hungry and aggressive, you may be doing the math and wondering how many people you must beat to win these assignments. It's true. There will be other PSS folks that win assignments instead of you at times. Just like if you're on a basketball team, someone else on your team will inevitably score some points. One person can't do it all. But we need to not lose sight that we're all still on the same team. Let me give you a few reasons why we should play as a team. Number 1, if I don't win a job as a PSS person, I want to make sure that someone else wins it quickly, or else REOmaven.com is going to think that they need to go out and hire even more people, which will increase more competition. So it's good for the people that are already in the group here, already approved, to win more assignments. We get PSS jobs because REOmaven.com receives the listings from asset managers. Asset managers gives REOmaven.com more listings if the assignments are handled quickly and accurately. More assignments means more potential jobs for me. Therefore, whether I win or someone else wins the job, it's likely to still benefit me in the long run as long as somebody wins the job quickly. As a PSS person, I need other PSS people in other areas working different hours than me so that we can cover a very large area as a company so that we might get more listings from these asset managers, which means more jobs in turn for me. And lastly, there's something to be said for appreciating the well-being of others. This world is not easy to live in all the time, and if somebody's able to make a living doing something, we should be happy for them. Some people believe in karma, other people believe in the law of attraction, some people believe in treating your neighbor as you want to be treated, other people believe in Newton's third law of cause and effect. Whatever it is you believe in, being nice to others and wanting good for others is just a better way to be. So even if you are not interested in squashing your competition, but you just want to see how many people you're up against and how many people are on your team here, then this is important to know. We paid 25 people in all of 2012, and here you have a breakdown per pay period. One thing to consider is that out of, let's say for the first pay period, the January 1st to the 15th, there are 6 people that we paid. However, maybe only a couple of those took the majority of the assignments being offered. And that happens quite often. There's usually somebody, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people that just take 1 or 2 jobs because it's convenient, and then the rest of the people are really aggressive and they get the lion's share of the activity. Also, we did a PSS training in February from somewhere between the 16th and the 29th. I guarantee all the people that were sitting in that training looked around at their neighbors and saw how many people were in the room and just thought they probably didn't have a chance at all of getting any assignments. Well, there were plenty of people that were involved for the next 2 pay periods, but then you can see April 1st to the 15th, it dropped off significantly. So you can expect that to happen if we have large amounts of people getting approved at once. the interest drops off dramatically because people think that they just don't have a chance at winning any more jobs. Well, the reality is, if you just stay involved and keep showing up, then you will start getting more jobs as time goes on. So as I mentioned earlier, the beauty of this opportunity is that your time really is in your hands. You control what you do, when you work, and when you take assignments. And we give you enough information up front so that you can determine whether the assignment is good for you or not. As far as time goes, you should be mindful of how long the assignment's going to take you. Take into account drive time, time on site doing the work, and time processing. Some assignments, quite frankly, won't be worth your time, and we can't make those judgments for you. For instance, if you're driving a F-350 tank that drinks 4 gallons per mile, and you take a $25 assignment that requires 2 hours of drive time, you'll probably lose the money on the deal. Whereas someone else taking the same exact assignment, driving a hybrid, might make money on that job. So also plan on the first assignment you do taking much longer than the 10th assignment that you do. And above all, just keep in mind, when you agree to a job and you see the deadline, you must commit under any circumstances that you will turn that work in before the deadline, no matter what. Turning work in late is the best way to ruin your chances of getting any future assignments. If there's any question as to whether you're going to be able to turn the assignment in on time or not, don't accept the assignment. That being said, it takes me an hour approximately to do an initial inspection, and I've done a handful of them, but I don't do them all the time, so I'm not as efficient as I could be. However, that's pretty good time. We've got other PSS people. One guy says that he can get one knocked out in about 30 minutes, which is exceptionally fast. We have other PSS folks that will take 2 hours to complete one just because they're taking their time and not that concerned. All right, I just want to give you an idea of where you might expect for some of these assignments to pop up at. So just wanted to bring a map of the Metroplex here to your attention. If you go to the very top of the map, you'll see Sherman. We've had assignments as far north as Sherman. On out to the west, there on the left side, you'll see Mineral Wells. And to the south, kind of southwest Glen Rose. On around to the far east, you'll see Wills Point, just east of Dallas. And back on up to Sherman. That's the area that we have actually had assignments in. So it's a pretty big area. However, for the most part, we stay within about a 30-mile radius of Keller. So most of the assignments that you can expect to see will be in a 30-mile radius of Keller. That, just to give you an idea, the cutoff there is around Cedar Hill, Lancaster area, and that would swing up around Garland, and that's kind of your 30-mile radius cutoff there, and then it, of course, swings out to the west in some rural areas. So that just gives you an idea of where you can expect to see these assignments at. Like I mentioned, because of the season we're in right now, you'll see most of the deals within about a 30-mile radius of that blue point on the left there near Keller. However, we have seen tons of assignments in Dallas, and we will again. And so we wanted to make sure we had a couple of locations that people could drive to pick up the supplies if supplies are needed for the specific assignment that is being offered. So these are the two areas that we offer materials at. You can drive to either one to pick stuff up, signs, lock boxes, and that sort of thing to complete your assignments. That helps with the driving time. I want to explain a little bit about who we are and why we have this funny name. REO is real estate acquired by a lender or government, usually after an unsuccessful sale at a foreclosure auction. In fact, most of the time when people say foreclosure, if they say a foreclosure house, they're really talking about an REO property, if you wanted to get technical. And the word maven means a maven is a trusted expert in a particular field who seeks to pass knowledge on to others. The word maven comes from the Hebrew via Yiddish and means one who understands based on an accumulation of knowledge. So we are the REO Maven. These are photos of our office in the North Fort Worth Keller location. You'll inevitably stop by here to pick up supplies for one of your assignments sooner or later. And when you do, we welcome you to grab a glass of water or a cup of coffee anytime. This is the Dallas location that you can stop by and pick up materials at. This is Uncle Bob's Self-Storage. We tried to pick a fairly central location, as you can see there on the map. All of our staff have earned a position with our company only after meeting some of the highest standards in the business. This is to ensure you are only working with outstanding people. Among our family of companies, you'll find REOMaven.com, LLC, which is the company you'll be contracting with for your assignments. Chandler Realty Select is our retail branding. and CRRCO is a license holding company. My wife Megan and I are brokers for the company. Deanna Murrin is our office manager. Aya Haddon is assistant office manager, and Rebecca Smith is the newest member of our team. We also have other positions, including virtual assistants, licensed real estate agents, of course, property support specialists, and IT personnel. When you walk through the doors in our Keller location, you'll see Vanessa behind the desk. Here you'll see my beautiful wife, my son Stanley, and me. And here's baby Jonas. He's the star of the show. And since I'm putting together the slideshow, the next few slides are Stanley and Jonas and Stanley again. Here are a couple more fun slides. This is a picture of Deanna, our office manager. And here's Aya. So what do? We take houses of all sorts, many of them look just like this, in neighborhoods just like this, that have gone through foreclosure, and then HUD took ownership of the property, and then it became a HUD home, and we help sell the houses. So, what exactly is a HUD home? A HUD home is a residential property acquired by HUD as a result of a foreclosure action on an FHA-insured mortgage. HUD becomes the property owner and offers it for sale to recover the loss on the foreclosure claim. So if you see on this diagram here, starting on the left, this guy bought a house using an FHA mortgage. Then he ran out of money. So the bank took the property and attempted to sell it at the foreclosure auction. Well, nobody bought it, so the bank filed a claim on their mortgage insurance held by HUD, and so HUD honored the claim. Then HUD took over ownership of the property and offered it for sale. That's kind of what it looks like. Now I'd like to give you a little snapshot of how HUD actually sells the properties that they end up owning, these HUD homes. So if you start in the upper right hand corner, you'll see the Housing and Urban Development logo. And so after HUD takes over ownership of the property, what they do is they contract with an asset management company. There's 3 asset management companies in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex: Matt Martin Real Estate Management, PIMCO, and Home Telus. Our company is contracted with Matt Martin Real Estate Management and PIMCO currently. And so you see the asset manager takes the property, they contract with a real estate broker, in this case reomaven.com. We inspect the property, look for blemishes, we offer the property up for sale in order to find a buyer. Then we get the house under contract. House remains under contract for about 45 days until it sells. And that's the basics overview of the sales process. Okay, so if what you've heard so far interests you, you probably just want to know how you can get started. You probably want to learn how to become one of our certified property support specialists and want to know exactly how to complete an assignment. And that's exactly what the next section of this video series covers. We're going to go deep into the details about how to complete each assignment. We're going to cover every single line on a checklist that you'll be asked to know and execute. We'll cover all the details involved. We'll cover the standards of quality and work that we expect and what's expected of you in every way. If you would like to continue with the training, I have a very, very special treat for you. A very dear lifelong friend has agreed to present the intro to the next video. His name is Professor Hans von Puppet. So to proceed to the next training portion of this video and hear what the professor has to say, please follow the instructions about how to proceed to the next step.